What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we'll be doing a walk around of my new 2022 Subaru BRZ. Let's get into it. This is my 2022 Subaru BRZ Sportec model. I believe in the States it's considered a limited model. This is the higher model of the two. Today we're just gonna do a walk around on my 22 BRZ. I think this color is absolutely fantastic. I was shooting for the red, but this ended up catching my eye. The red was gonna take a little longer. It was between this blue, silver and black, so I went with the metallic graphite gray, and I think it really complements the car. It looks absolutely amazing. I bought this car sight unseen. It came right from the truck. I just saw photos, so I committed to a car I didn't see in person, and it has not disappointed me yet. I think the front end looks absolutely gorgeous. They did an amazing job with it. The headlights are fantastic, and I think with just a little modifications, this car can look even better. What is really cool about these vents here, they're actually functional, and these vents basically help cool the brakes. And if you look really close at the vents, they actually have a really cool texture to the plastic that you don't see very often on cars. I think this is actually really nice. You can actually even feel the texture, and it gives you like a faux carbon fiber effect, but I think it actually is really nice. The headlights themselves, I think Subaru did an awesome job. The wheel choice on the Subaru is actually pretty good. I think it complements the car nicely. The tire package on the car are Michelin Pilot Sport 4s and 215/40/18, and they're 18-inch rims. I think it actually suits the car. It's not a bad looking rim. What I'm planning to do is put a winter tire on here and then have a nice summer setup. What's really cool also is these vents here, they're actually functional too. Maybe not, the top one isn't, but these two are, so actually functional. And what they do is they help the car with the aerodynamics, and you can see as the body lines go down, there it comes up, and it comes around and kind of comes off this fender here, or this quarter here. I think the brake package on the car is underwhelming. I think for the Sportec model, I think they should at least, maybe not get Brembos, but maybe a bigger rotor and a bigger brake. I think the brakes on this car need to be upgraded, especially if you're going to do some hard driving. For an economy car, from just driving around, it doesn't do a bad job. The style on this car is really nice. They did a really good job, and it really gives you a sense of a sports car. It may not have the most power in the world, but it absolutely looks fantastic. A lot of people complain about the rear of the car. I personally don't mind it. I see there being some room for improvement. I think once you can get one of those LED lights that go here, or maybe even smoke this, I think it'll look pretty good. Then once you get a lip or a diffuser underneath, will look really good. I believe the STI, BRZ STIs come with a nice little diffuser that we actually might get. I think they did a decent job with the rear. I like the taillights. Some of you guys don't, but me personally I do. And you have a bit of a duckbill. I think the Toyota gets a bit of a bigger duckbill, which might be upgraded in the future for us. The new BRZ has a 2.4 liter flat 4 motor producing about 228 horsepower at 7,000 RPMs. The car also produces 184 pounds of torque at 3,700 RPMs. It may not sound like a lot of horsepower, guys, but you guys gotta realize this car weighs 2,800 pounds. 2,800 pounds in this day and age for a modern car is really light. Most cars are like 3,000 pounds and up. The car actually moves really nice for having stock power. The power to weight is absolutely fantastic. Another thing I really like about this motor, the motor looks insanely clean. There isn't a lot of wires anywhere. I think they did a really good job with how they laid this motor out. Everything looks pretty clean, pretty accessible to work on. You have some OEM strut braces there, which really look nice. Once again, we'll probably get another one that goes from one of the strut towers. I go from there to there. But they did a really good job with how this motor looks. What is really nice and convenient also is the oil filter being at the top. This makes it very easy doing oil changes on the car. One thing I wish they did is added hood dampeners. Like we have our OEM prop here, which does the job, but a hood dampener would actually be super nice. That may be an upgrade we do in the future. It's just so much easier just opening it and not worrying about it. I know this is like a first world problem thing, but these are little things that I'm nitpicking at the moment. If you ever have to change a belt, everything looks pretty accessible here. Intake is right here, so when we upgrade it, super easy. And then once we do the supercharger, I'll definitely just replace this manifold here. You can check your oil. Everything is just very accessible. That's what I really like about this car and what they did with this engine bay. The battery is just right there for easy jumping or easy removal if you need to also. So you actually don't have that much trunk space. As you can see, I have a jacket in here, my camera bag, and not much more actually fits. So not a ton of room, but just enough to get, you know, a few things in here. This isn't your grocery getter, even though it can, but it's not the most practical. One thing I really do enjoy is the keyless door entry. I think that makes it so much easier getting in and out of the car. The interior of the car, I think they did a great job. I know it's subjective and some people do not like it, but I personally think they did a really good job. I like the material of all the touch points in the car here. I think it feels really nice. A few little complaints we'll get into in the future, but the stylizing overall, I think they did a really, really good job. Let's start her up and see how she sounds. One thing that is really, really good about the Subaru is I think they did a fantastic job with the shift box and the shift knob. I think it's a really, really good fit for this car. The shift box is nice and direct and a bit notchy, which I actually really enjoy. This model comes with heated seats, which is definitely enjoyable with this cold weather. We have our traction control off, and then we have our track mode. The screen here shows a different bunch of parameters on the car. That's almost like a dyno sheet looking type of thing. It just shows our max power and torque and how it's applied, which is kind of pretty cool. I enjoy the way that looks. No device connected. And then we have some of our driver assist applications here, which are really cool. But aside from that, warning volume screens and all that type of stuff, no messages. It's nothing super fancy, but I think it does the job and does the job well. We have obviously our temperature and our gas meter here. The main info system here isn't the greatest, and I don't think it looks the nicest. I think they could have done something with this to integrate it a little better into the car. It just looks like cheap plastic. That's the only thing I'm not a big fan of. I'm hoping maybe there's some type of overlay that we can put onto this to give it a better look. The seats are pretty nicely styled. I'm not a big fan of that little red stripe in the middle. I would be okay with just the red stitching and a black seat. But that follows down over here, but it's not too bad. The red stitching is seen all around the car, in the shift boot, in the e-brake. The seat itself does a pretty good job of holding you in. It's not the best, it's not a bucket seat, but I think for an OEM seat, it does a pretty good job. And I think you guys would think it's pretty comfortable. I find it comfortable, and I like the way it kind of holds me in on cornering. The sound system in this car is okay. It's not the best, it's not the worst. I've adjusted to the point where it sounds pretty good for me. No crazy bass or anything, but let me play you a song here. This is an uncopyrighted song, just so we don't get demonetized. Let me just find it quickly. Super hard actually capturing the audio. You'd have to hear it in person, but it doesn't sound that bad. I think it does a pretty good job, and I don't know, I'm not that picky. I've had worse and I've had a little better, but I think for what it is, it's pretty good. I think my main complaint is the info system alone. If you're hoping to buy this car and put people in this back seat, all I gotta say is good luck. They have to be probably like 3 feet tall. Maybe a kid could fit back here okay. An average size adult would have a very hard time in these back seats. Once again, this is a two-door coupe. You don't get this car for space. It's not as practical as a daily in my opinion, but at least they give you something, I guess. This car has a few cup holders. You have one here, one on the driver's side, and then these two guys over here. Aside from that, the car doesn't have much space for anything else. You have your glove box, obviously, but aside from just like this bit of space and this right here where I tend to keep my phone, and actually fits pretty good, there's not much more. You have your USB plugs right here, and looks like an audio jack. I usually run a wire here and leave the phone on the seat if no one's here. If someone's here, I kind of keep the phone in this section here. But if you have cups, phone, and someone here, good luck. I think you guys know the struggle already.
Overall, I think they did a really good job with the Subaru. A few little things in my opinion need to get fixed, and I will upgrade those as I go. The Subaru did an amazing job with how this car actually drives. A few little things I have complaints about, I'll make a full video on those, you know, top 5 things I don't like about my Subaru BRZ, something along those lines. I hope you guys enjoyed. This was a small walk around of the car showing some of the features, some things I don't like and some of the things I love. We'll get an in-car review and first driving impressions coming very shortly. Just waiting for either my winter tires to come or the road to dry up. Like I said, these are summer tires or all season kind of summer tires. They're not the greatest in the rain or anything, but I just want to say thank you so much for watching. This was just a small little introduction into the car. We have a lot of mods coming. As you can see probably back here in my messy garage, I have a Tomei exhaust coming soon, and I just want to drive a car a little more stock before putting a Tomei exhaust and just enjoy the car how it is. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Peace out. Do it once, do it right, like, comment, subscribe, and later.